Welcome to another episode of the Cubs Line podcast. I'm Ryan Dunleavy,
I'm Ryan Zelinsky.
and today, let's just say the Cubs got embarrassed in Game One of the series versus the Yankees in the Bronx. Ryan, what are your takeaways from today's ball game?
Well, I had actually originally planned if the Cubs were gonna win, I was gonna be like, "Ah, Yankees lose," but can't really do that now. um, the actually embarrassing. Cody Bellinger, proud owner of the Chicago Cubs. He should have had four. Thank you, Kyle Tucker. Um, I mean, we just got owned in every aspect tonight. It was a brutal watch.
And before we get started on today's show, I want to give a shout out to Mark's Card Shop. Thank you for sponsoring today's show. Go check them out. Their address is 914 Curtis Street in Downers Grove, Illinois. Check out their website at markscardshop.com. But before we get into this recap, or what you call a recap, Matthew Boyd opted out of the All Star game, and Jacob Mizorowski will be taking his spot. Matthew Boyd will be taking the bump for the Cubs tomorrow. Personally, I like this decision. What about you?
I love it, right? Get named an all-star, get recognition from the MLB, but don't play. Get the extra rest. I love it. Give the kid a shot, to pitch. I'm very happy with the decision.
Yeah, I assume he'll still go to Atlanta. He just won't pitch, would be my guess. I'm That's typically what ends up happening, but we're seeing a lot of pitchers opt out so they can focus and get ready for the second half, which I think is becoming a more popular decision, and I really like it. I'm sure we'll be talking about that discussion question over All Star break, but I'm totally fine with Matthew Boyd opting out and getting ready for the second half, and that's putting the team over himself for sure.
Oh, definitely. That's a guy who wants to win, wants what's best for the team. So yeah, I'm really happy with his decision.
Yeah, so we'll get into this recap. Um, Yankees win this ball game 11-0. The Cubs go down to 55-39. The Brewers won today, so the Cubs are now only one game above in the division. So if the Cubs lose tomorrow and the Brewers win, we will have a tie for the NL Central for the first time this season, I believe. That doesn't have me feeling good at all with Max Fried on the mound tomorrow, and especially with the Brewers playing the Nationals, Brandon Woodruff on the mound. And on Sunday, the Brewers again, Freddie Peralta, the All Star. I'm not feeling too good. How about you?
Dude, this is actually scary. Like literally on Sunday's show, we were talking about get to 6 games. Now we're thinking, oh God, please just have just being first at the All Star break. Like, oh my gosh, this is. I mean, listen, as much as the Cubs have not been good, the Milwaukee Brewers, I believe, have now won five straight, four straight something. They swept the Dodgers. I mean, they're playing It's five.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, they're just playing really good baseball right now. Again, they swept the Dodgers. I mean, that's not easy at all. Um, I mean, the credit does go to the Brewers because it's not like we could have gotten here with them just losing. So yeah, they've been playing really good. The Cubs have been playing pretty poorly. Like I said, cold streaks happen. I've been saying this, but it's just it was 7 games like 2 weeks ago. This is just scary.
Yeah, for sure. Couldn't have said it better. So we'll get into this recap. For the Yankees, Carlos Rodon gets the win. He goes to 10-6 on the year with a 3.08 ERA. Chris Flexen gets his first loss on the year, which moves him to 5-1 with a 1.47 ERA. Flexen was not that bad today, honestly. So we'll get into his recap. Nico Horner lined out to start the game as he was in the leadoff spot. Tucker with a nice lefty single. Oppo. Suzuki strikes out on an embarrassing pitch that was not competitive at all. This ball literally hit the plate. I mean, just no discipline there. And then Carson Kelly lines out. Chisholm kind of bobbled it, but he still makes the out. I mean, Kelly got all this. It was hit 106 miles an hour, but not a terrible first inning. Flexen starts off the game with a strikeout. This was a 6 pitch at bat, so a pretty nice at bat there from Jason Dominguez. But Flexen paints the corner with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and then he walks Aaron Judge, which I was okay with. And then Cody Bellinger flies out to PCA, and Ben Rice flies out to Seiya Suzuki. And before that, Seiya Suzuki is a way better defender in left field than right field for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you. He was a right fielder for the past 2 years, and since he's moved over to left field, he's been a pretty good fielder. Like I'll say, I mean, Ian Happ is still a better fielder, but Seiya Suzuki has been substantially better in left field.
Yeah, and then the top of the second, Dansby and PCA strike out back to back. And then JT hits a really nice ball up the middle to Cody Bellinger. Bellinger made a really nice play on this. This could have been a double for sure. This ball was hit 104 miles an hour, but Cody makes a really nice play. And then Michael Bush strikes out on another ball in the dirt. The Cubs really got to stop with this stuff. I mean, no discipline here. Chisholm gets a leadoff walk, but then the Yankees go 1-2-3 after that. In the top of the third, John Birdie hits a leadoff single to Cody Bellinger, and then Nico flied out to Belly. This was a hard hit ball, 96 miles an hour, but just right to him. Kyle Tucker strikes out, but Birdie steals second. He struck out on a slider that was right down the middle, so it is hard lefty lefty with the slider. It was a nice pitch, but it's right down the middle. And then Seiya Suzuki hits a weak fly out to Jazz Chisholm. But a nice ball there from John Birdie. When you get a leadoff single, you gotta find a way to get that guy in. That's something the Cubs need to do a better job of, and they haven't been doing on this kind of cold streak. And then the bottom of the third, Oswaldo Peraza hits a leadoff single on a ground ball to John Birdie. First pitch, this ball was smoked. Birdie, he kind of stopped it, but Peraza beat it out. It wasn't an error because it was a super hard hit ball. And then Jason Dominguez hits a single on a line drive to PCA. This was another ball that was smoked. A lot of hard hit balls. This was a 1-2 count, and Flexen just serves up a curveball right down the middle. I did not like this pitch location, and I would have definitely threw a ball here on this pitch. So Peraza advances 30 off first and third with Aaron Judge, which is very scary, and he gets a hold of a ball pretty well, 97 miles an hour. This ball was literally a cutter down the middle, which is not what you want to do for Aaron Judge at all. But luckily, it was just a sac fly, 1-0 Yankees. And then Cody Bellinger comes up and hits his first homer of the night. This was his 14th on the year. This ball was hit 371 feet, 102 miles an hour, so just got out. This was a curveball down and away, more down, just low. Cody Bellinger likes those curveballs low, and he just gets a hold of one. I wouldn't say it was smoked, but it was just enough to get out. And then Ben Rice flew out. Then he walks Jazz Chisholm, but then he gets a Goldschmidt fly out. You kind of set yourself up poorly with two singles. What would you say as like how was the damage control by Flexen in this inning?
And I mean, it's just tough to start off an inning like that. I mean, the Judge sacrifice fly, you get the out, then he throws the pitch to Belly. But I mean, I don't, obviously since he had a homer, there's no one on base, and then he's able to um get out of the inning with no harm again. But it's tough to. I will say, okay, first and third with nobody out could result in like 5 or 6. So 3 is okay. Um, but yeah, I think he did fine after the homer, just getting out of the inning, keeping the damage just to 3, like I said. But I mean, I listen, when it's a Chris Flexen start, 3 is fine against the Yankees. I mean, it did obviously escalate to a lot more, but we knew something like that was going to happen.
Yeah. Then top of the fourth, Carson Kelly flies out to Judge, and then PCA hits a ball that Aaron Judge ended up robbing. This ball would have been nowhere close to getting out at Wrigley, but we're playing at Mickey Mouse Yankee Stadium where every fly ball is almost out. But
Like Williamsport, Pennsylvania at the Little League World Series.
yeah, I know. Like this ball, like I thought it had no chance. I thought it was just a pop out, and then it was going, and then Aaron Judge makes a great play on it and robs him. And then on the pitch after that, Dansby Swanson hits a sharp line drive to him, and Judge makes a diving catch. I mean, he is such a special player, man. Unreal. I mean, defensively, he's not like the fastest, but he can run, and his bat talks for itself. He's what you'd call a five-tool player, and he'll be no doubt Hall of Famer for sure. In the bottom of the fourth, the Yankees go down 1-2-3. Top of the fifth, the Cubs go down 1-2-3. Bottom of the fifth, Caleb Thielbar comes in. Jason Dominguez hits another infield single. This was a 7-pitch at bat. It was a curveball down and in to Dominguez, and he smokes the ball to John Bird. He just wasn't able to come up with it. Thielbar ends up striking out Aaron Judge, but then Cody Bellinger comes up and hits his second home run of the night, 15th on the year. This ball was a high fastball and away. Bellinger, I think on all of his home runs, it was all away pitches. He does a good job of taking it right back up the middle. This ball was hit 102 miles an hour, 376. So this ball would not have gotten out of Wrigley. Belly, I mean, he's been super high as of late. But then he gets out of the inning with a Rice flyout and a Chisholm ground out. Top of the sixth, the Cubs go down 1-2-3. Bottom of the sixth, Jordan Wicks comes in. Goldschmidt hits the leadoff double. Eric Carra grounds out to Nico, but Goldschmidt advances to third. And then Anthony Volpe hits his 22nd double on the year to make it a 6-0 Yankees game. This ball was hit 105 miles an hour, just roped. Nice line drive down the line for Volpe. And then Oswaldo Peraza hits a single on a ground ball to Jordan Wicks. This ball smoked, another one. There was a lot of infield singles today that the Cubs just couldn't come up with. But then Wicks gets back-to-back strikeouts on Dominguez and Aaron Judge. 2 strikeouts tonight from Aaron Judge. That's not typical what you see from him. Top of the seventh, Carson Kelly strikes out, and then PCA hits a chopper kind of in between first and the pitcher, but Rodon makes a really nice play on it and beats PCA by a step. The Cubs did challenge this, but the call was upheld. And then Dansby hits a line out to Volpe. Bottom of the seventh, Cody Bellinger lines out to Tucker. Kyle Tucker robbed his homer, so Belly would have been 4-for-4 with 4 bombs on the night. So thankfully Tucker robbed it. I think they both had a nice laugh after that. But that didn't matter because Ben Rice hit a single to PCA. Chisholm hit a single, so runners on first and second for Goldie. And then Goldie hits a single on the ground ball to Seiya. Ben Rice scored. Chisholm went to second. And then J.C. Arikara hit a single to Seiya on a ground ball. Chisholm scored. Goldschmidt went to second, so runners on first and second, but the Yankees couldn't get any more in. And then Justin Turner grounds out to Chisholm. This was another ball that was smoked. JT put together a nice night at the plate. All of his balls were hit hard tonight. This one, Chisholm made a really nice play on. Not every second baseman makes that play. Michael Bush walks and John Birdie hits into the force out. Nico Horner hits a single, and then Tucker hits one down the line, and Aaron Judge makes another sliding catch. I mean, 3 web gems on the night for Aaron Judge. You think his bat makes people overlook his defensive play?
Yeah, I think so. He is an amazing outfielder, you know, but since he's such a good hitter, people just think about, how he's such a slugger. But yeah, he is such a good fielder. And I also think a lot of people overlook his fielding because of his error in the World Series last year. But things like that happen. But yeah, he's such an amazing fielder.
Yeah, and then with 1 out, Aaron Judge walks, then Cody Bellinger hits his 3rd home run of the night, 16th on the year. This ball was hit 103 miles an hour, 180 feet. 3 home runs for Belly. 0 of them would have got out of Wrigley Field. Yankee Stadium's the only ballpark, maybe besides Oakland, that these balls get out of. So 3 Mickey Mouse home runs for Bellinger, but his revenge game on the Cubs. And then Ben Rice hits a double. Jazz lines out, and then Goldie hits a 2-out double. 22nd on the year to make it an 11-0 Yankees game. Top of the ninth, that's just kind of a useless inning. Former Cubs Scott F. Frost comes in. Vidal Brujan hits a double. Rare to see that from him. Cubs can't get anything out of it though, so that is the ball game. 11-0 Yankees. That's a brutal way to start out a series. And they have lost 3 out of 4 on this road trip so far. So they are not a very good road trip, and the Twin series, I mean, it starts it. That's a series that you should go into Minnesota and you should win. They're a below 500 ball club, and that just kind of sets the tone. All the pitchers you faced on the Twins had ERAs above 4. Now you have to go to the Bronx and face arguably two of the best left-handed pitchers in the game. Ryan, anything on that?
I mean, the only hope is that you got Boyd and Shota going, so that does give you a little bit of hope for tomorrow and Sunday to win this series. But yeah, I think you do. You have to win this series. You can't lose the series hoping that Milwaukee doesn't sweep their series. Yeah, I think they have to win the next two. That's not a good way to start at all. Yeah, I mean, you said it. You said it best. It's a brutal way to start.
Yeah, and then obviously the Cubs didn't put up any runs tonight, so they wouldn't have won the ball game regardless. But this pitching was horrible tonight. Flexen comes in for 4 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs. All of them are earned. 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, a home run. It's now at a 1.47 ERA. I mean, the walks just kind of hurt him. I mean, 3 walks in 4 innings, 3 runs. Every walk came back to score, but not terrible from Flexen. I mean, he did what he could against a very, very tough Yankees lineup. Caleb Thielbar comes in for an inning, a 1 inning pitch, 2 hits, 2 runs. Both of them were earned, no walks, 1 strikeout, 1 home run. He's now at a 2.29 ERA. Just a long ball that hurt him. I understand walking Aaron Judge, but Cody Bellinger comes up and hits a lefty lefty home run. And Bellinger is a very good lefty lefty hitter, as we have seen him hit a lot of lefty lefty home runs in the Cubs uniform. And then Jordan Wicks comes in and eats up 3 innings, and he got absolutely tortured. That was the worst out of the Cubs pitching tonight. 3 innings, 10 hits, 6 runs. All of them were earned. 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, a home run. He's now at a 9.72 ERA. I just want to read this out loud really quick. In total, the Cubs went 8 innings pitched, 15 hits, 11 runs. All of them were earned. 4 walks, 7 strikeouts, 3 home runs. I mean, this Cubs pitching was terrible tonight. Safe to say.
Yeah, pretty brutal. Flexen and Thielbar, 5 runs in 5 innings, not the best, and then Wicks just caps that off with 6 runs in 3 innings. I mean, like you said, they didn't score. Even if it was 1-0, they wouldn't have won this game. But yeah, pretty brutal from you know from Wicks. I'll say mostly just because he was just the unlucky one that went 3 innings and gave up six in his outing.
Yeah, and then Carlos Rodon went 8 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. Now a 3.08 ERA. He's one of the best left-handed arms in the league, and the Cubs need to learn how to hit a left-handed pitcher sooner or later. I don't know what they have to do. Have a left-handed guy throw batting practice. Use a left-handed simulated on the machine. They need to figure out something and change something because they have not hit a left-handed pitcher good once since the beginning of the season. This has been brutal. Every time there's a southpaw on the mound for the opponent, it's pretty much a Cubs loss typically, unless the starter goes out and shoves. But it's been horrendous. Scott Efros comes in for the ninth and inning, a hit. Nothing after that. 1 strikeout. He's down to 3.6 ERA. Cubs need to learn how to hit a left-handed pitcher though. So we'll get into the player of the game. Mine, it's pretty obvious. Cody Bellinger, 3 for 5, 3 runs, 6 RBIs, 3 home runs. Just heck of a night from Cody Bellinger. Don't let that overshadow Paul Goldschmidt. He was 3 for 5 on the night, 2 RBIs, 2 doubles. He had another nice night, and Carlos Rodon. But I'm not saying the Cubs played super poorly because they did play terrible, but from a valuable source, Yankees fan Jack Dobbins from the Playoff Push podcast, he was telling us that this was the best, most complete Yankees game all year, and this is the best they've played in a long time. This was their best game. So Cubs just
I mean, yeah, I
time.
agree with him. Like they played, you know, like they outplayed the Cubs. I mean, like they played bad. They didn't play super bad. It's just Carlos Rodon, the best start or one of the best starts of the season so far for him. But yeah, the Yankees played really well tonight. And for my player of the game, I mean, pick and choose Bellinger, Goldschmidt, Rodon. But if we're talking Cubs, it's the fans they showed um, a pitch before the game ended. So the Cubs fans that stayed through this whole game, that's my player of the game.
100%. So, as we saw, Cody Bellinger with an unreal performance tonight, and he's having a very nice season, hitting 285, 16 home runs, 54 RBIs. He has a 38 OPS. He's having a really nice year defensively too. He's been super high as of late. The Cubs got a guy named Cody Poet for him, and he's not even with the Cubs anymore. Do you think the Cubs could have gotten someone better for Cody Bellinger?
I mean, it would have been nice for them too, but I hit after a pretty, off or poor season last year. I just don't think that they would have got a ton. I mean, it's tough that he's not even on the team anymore, Poteet. But you picked up some salary. It was more of just a salary dump trade. Um, you know, Belly's playing in a little league field, so he does have a couple more home runs than he would anywhere else. But yeah, I mean, as much as I would have liked to, I don't know if they really could have, just because of how he wasn't really that good last year and his value kind of tanked.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I you couldn't have said it better. I mean, it was a salary dump, and we probably don't get some guys like Matthew Boyd, Kyle Tucker, John Burry, some of those guys that are helping contribute to the Cubs right now. Something funny that I want to talk about right now. This is live, my initial reaction. So, Avi Shirts just posted Jacob Morowski after 5 starts. He's an all star. Where was this all star committee in 1988? Kerry Wood would have been in Cooperstown by August. And then I look in the comments, and I don't know if this is real. Daniel Palencia comments joke.
Are
um,
you serious?
I'm so serious on Obvious Sports. Daniel Palencia was talking about how much of a joke that Jacob Mizorowski made the All Star game. I found that pretty hilarious.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, Danny P's having a really nice year. I think he might have gotten snubbed as an All Star. He's been unreal. He's played an entire year, and I think he's around a 1.5 ERA. He's had a lot of saves, and they're going to give it to Jacob Mizorowski after 5 starts and not let another Cub take Matthew Boyd's spot. So I can see kind of the frustration there, but I thought that was pretty funny.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so we'll get into our next thing. Craig Counsell today gave Ian Happ and Matt Shaw an off day as they've both been in a slump. What were your thoughts on this new lineup? He moved Carson Kelly to the 4 hole, Nico to the leadoff, PCA 5, Dansby 6, JT 7, Michael Bush 8, John Birdie 9. What were your thoughts on this lineup?
Well, me and you were talking about it. We really loved it when it came out.
I did.
Clearly,
I did. I really like this lineup, especially versus a lefty. Keeps Michael Bush and hits him 8. I'm fine with that. Michael Bush versus a righty, he's a 5 hitter. Versus a left-handed, he's more of a 6, 7, 8 hitter. And I, I was fine with it personally. I really like this lineup, especially Hap. I'm glad he gave Nico a shot in the leadoff, and he didn't just. I mean, 1 for 4 in the night, not terrible. Obviously, we want to get on base more in that leadoff spot, but he didn't have a bad night at all. On paper, I really like this lineup, but I guess it didn't work out.
I think if this lineup goes up as against a righty, I think I maybe don't put JT in the DH and I maybe DH Hap or then DH Suzuki instead of JT and kind of shuffle that around. But I like Nico leading off. That this is probably my favorite lineup card all year. Like I really liked what he did with this, but obviously it was a pretty dreadful watch.
Yeah, for sure. And another question on that. I know Ian Happ and Matt Shaw have been slumping. More Ian Happ. You have 3 games left until the All Star break, and you almost have a week left, a week off of baseball. Do you like the? Do you not like the idea of giving guys off days in the last series before the All Star break?
I mean, now that you say it, I guess I see where you're coming from. I mean, I originally was like, oh, good, like they need an off day. Like Ian Happ's been slumping. But now that you bring it up, that's kind of a fair point. Maybe this was just to kind of get Ian Happ, like, because Ian Happ's 2 for his last 32, I believe. It's something like that. And I think this was maybe more of like a sit him down, try to, refresh. I'm not unsure about Matt Shaw. Hopefully they're just, seeing how John Birdie plays at third to see if he could play more. Really hoping that's what today was. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a tough call. It is weird because they're about to be off for a week, but then it's also like Ian Happ did really need one. So I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle about it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt too. I wasn't like thrilled, but I wasn't like super mad about it. I'm still laughing about that Daniel Valencia comment. I thought that was pretty funny joke. Don't typically expect to see that from a player on a Cubs fan page. So
Us.
pretty funny. I think Danny P maybe should have been an All Star over Miz, but Miz has been unreal. But after 5 starts making the All Star game, that's kind of a stretch in my opinion. Um, My next question is John Birdie, I believe, has a 3 or 4 game hit streak as of late in the starting lineup. He's been playing some really good ball. Do you let John Birdie kind of finish off instead of Matt Shaw? Because Matt Shaw's hitting 200 right now. At least Birdie's been hitting a little better than Shaw. Would you let John Birdie finish it off?
Yes, yes, yes. I would 100%. John Birdie gets a hit. It seems like he gets a hit literally every game he's in the starting lineup. He can steal bases. He's a pretty good fielder. He made some pretty good plays tonight. Like that one diving play, he didn't have enough on the throw, but I mean, he's diving all over the diamond. He's trying. He's working. Every game he gets a shot in. I don't see why he never plays. Again, like I said, every game where he's in the starting lineup, I feel as if he's getting a hit. Like that's probably not true, but like he's getting the more hits consistently than Matt Shaw is when Matt Shaw's in the lineup. So yeah, I 100% maybe not go full John Birdie, but give like a 55-45, 50-50 type thing.
I agree with that. Kind of like what Miggy Amaya and Carson Kelly were doing before Amaya got hurt. I don't hate that idea. My last question is the Cubs have been brutal against lefties. Like, what do you think the Cubs need to do? This could be coaching, what the hitters need to do, front office. What needs to change so the Cubs can start hitting lefties? Because I said it earlier. I feel like every time a left-hander's on the mound, it's an automatic loss for the Cubs.
I mean, you could go with, like you said, left-handed BP. Throw the left-handed like the simulator on the machine, little things like that. Or you could go out deadline, get a couple guys who are known for hitting lefties pretty well. I can't think of really any off the top of my head right now. I'll have to do some
Torres.
yeah, oh yeah, hey, I mean we've been talking about him for so long. Um but yeah, like I think, you just got to go out, either get, 2 or 3 not superstar bats, but bats that can hit lefties when you really need them to, or practice. Like that's really all I can say.
Yeah, I agree with that. So it's hard to give a prediction for this, but I want to note that tomorrow is the MLB Futures game at 3 o'clock in Atlanta for the Cubs. Jackson Wiggins is hurt, so he will not be representing the Cubs, but the Cubs' number 1 prospect, Owen Casey, will be representing them. So I'm super excited to watch that. What is your score prediction? I mean, it's kind of hard. Just guess.
I mean, you go first. Let me think.
I typically it's a pretty high scoring game. I'll go 7-4 NL. Yeah, always got to go with the NL.
Yeah, I'll say 8-3 NL. Owen KC balls out.
Yeah. So I'll give the roster actually really quick. Um, so for the National League, the roster for this game. I'm just making sure that this is yep, it is. The pitchers representing the Washington Nationals, Alex Clemmy and Marquise Grissom Jr. From the Atlanta Braves, Hayden Harris. From the San Francisco Giants, Trent Harris. From the Colorado Rockies, Welton Herrera. From the Atlanta Braves, J.R. Ritchie. Um, from I think he's a free agent right now, Jonah Tong. He's taking Jackson Wiggins' spot. Not sure where he is from. He's from Canada. He's currently in Double A. It doesn't give a team right now, so I'm unsure of that. I think they might have messed something up here on the website. From the San Francisco Giants, Carson Westhunt, and from the Miami Marlins, Thomas White. The catchers from Cincinnati Reds, Alfredo
Oh, we might have lost you there, right? While he figures out his internet situation, I don't know if it'll pop up on the recording, but right now he's frozen for me. Real quick, while he's frozen, I'll give you guys tomorrow's preview. Matthew Boyd versus Max Fried, 12:05 first pitch. Matthew Boyd 9-3 with a 2.52 ERA. Max Fried 11-2 with a 2.27 ERA. Pitching matchup is crazy. That's one of the best pitching matchups. Of the year. This is like a World Series Game 7 type thing. So I think the Cubs. Again, it's another lefty. I don't. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not very confident tomorrow. As much as they need to win, I don't see how they're gonna be able to hit Max Fried if they couldn't hit Carlos Rodon. Um, my thing is just work his pitch count. Like work his pitch count. There's Ryan. Ryan's back real quick. I'll finish my thought and then I'll give it over back to Ryan. His, to work his pitch count, try to get him out in the sixth inning. Matthew Boyd's got to be on, keep it close, and then once Max Fried comes out, that's when you tie the game up, take the lead. So Ryan, you can finish what you were saying. I just wanted to fill some time while you figured out the internet over there. Oh, you're muted, Ryan.
Yeah, sorry, a little technical difficulty there. Did
There
you
you
do
go.
any rosters at all or no?
You, what's that?
I'll just do the position players.
Yeah.
From the Colorado Rockies, Charlie Condon. From the San Diego Padres, Leo Derviris. From the Pittsburgh Pirates, Connor Griffin. From the Arizona Diamondbacks, Lou James Groover. From the Milwaukee Brewers, Jesus Made. From the Cincinnati Reds, Sal Stewart. From the St. Louis Cardinals, J.J. Weatherholt. Um, then the outfielders from the Chicago Cubs, Owen Casey. From the New York Mets, Carson Benji. From the Arizona Diamondbacks, Slade Caldwell. From the Los Angeles Dodgers, Josh Jose De Paola and Zaire Hope. And then from the Pittsburgh Pirates, Emerson Valdez. Pretty legendary coaching staff. Chipper Jones, Mark De La Rosa, Andrew Jones, Tim Hudson. A lot of legends on that staff. Who are some guys that really jump out to you on this roster?
Um, on the uh, on the
National League side. I'll give a couple of mine. Well, for me, Charlie Condon from the Colorado Rockies. He's currently in high A, and he was the second overall pick in last year's draft. J.J. Weatherholt from the St. Louis Cardinals. He was the seventh overall pick in last year's draft, and he's already in Double A. I could see him coming up for their playoff push. He's quite the special player. And then obviously Owen Casey from the Cubs. And lastly is Zaire Hope. We traded him in the Michael Bush trade, and he's currently in high A and the 37th ranked prospect in MLB right now. Who are some guys from the National League that jump out to you?
I mean, pitcher Hayden Harris. He's having a pretty good year. Obviously Owen Casey, like you said, Charlie Condon. Um, and that's about it of the big names. That you didn't say. Obviously you said Owen Casey and Charlie Condon, but it's about it of like the big names. That you didn't say that kind of jump out at me.
Yeah, so now I'll give the AL roster. The switch pitcher actually throws right-handed and left-handed from the Seattle Mariners. Urangelo Clemente. I'm super excited to watch him. From the Baltimore Orioles, Keegan Giles. From the Tampa Bay Rays, Brody Hopkins. From the Athletics, Gage Jump. From the Los Angeles Angels, George Klassen. From the Cleveland Guardians, Parker Messick. From the Kansas City Royals, Frank Mustica. From the Houston Astros, Allenberg Santana. From the Chicago White Sox, Noah Schultz. From the Toronto Blue Jays, Trey Savage. Catchers from the Seattle Mariners, Harry Ford. From the Detroit Tigers, Jose Burcino. From the Kansas City Royals, Carter Johnson. Infield from the Minnesota Twins, Callan Culpepper. From the Cleveland Guardians, CJ Kaffis. From the New York Yankees, George Lombard Jr. From the Houston Astros, Bryce Matthews. From the Detroit Tigers, Kevin McGonagall. From the Texas Rangers, Sebastian Walcott. From the Oakland Athletics, Tommy White. In the outfield, from the Baltimore Orioles, Enrique Bradfield Jr. From the Detroit Tigers, Max Clark. From the Boston Red Sox, Uringston Garcia. From the Seattle Mariners, Lazaro Montez. And then from the Chicago White Sox, Braden Montgomery. And some of the names that stick out to me, obviously, Rango Ciente. He throws almost 100 from both sides. That's very impressive. Trey Savage was a guy that I thought the Cubs were going to take last year in their spot, currently in Double A. From the Seattle Mariners, Harry Ford. He's from Australia. He's in Triple A. He's on the verge of making his MLB debut. Sebastian Walcott. He's a tank. He's from the Texas Rangers. He's a 5-tool player. He's got speed. He can hit. He can do everything. And then Tommy White. He was a big factor in LSU's run. He was the guy that had all the big chains, hit some bombs, eye black. Tommy White was a very intriguing prospect for me. My last one, everyone knows him in the baseball community, Max Clark. I kind of self-explanatory. Who are some guys that jump out to you?
Well, for me, so I got two guys from Columbus in here. Parker Messick. He's a second overall pick in 2022 at Cleveland. This year, 4-3 with a 3.36 ERA. He could, come up as Cleveland has kind of had some struggles, this year. So I could see them calling him up. And then CJ Kaffis from also Columbus. This year he's hitting 307, 13 home runs, 15 RBIs. He's another name that jumps out at me. Like you said, I mean Max Clark, self-explanatory, and then Braden Montgomery. He's hitting right now 261 with he's got 52 RBIs, 11 home runs. Just hearing a lot about him. Since we live in Chicago, we get a lot of the Sox news too. But yeah, he's a very intriguing player. So yeah, those are the guys that stick out to me on the AL team.
Yeah, so now I'll take a look around the MLB. The White Sox shut out the Guardians in the top of the 10th inning, so they looked to walk off game 2 of the doubleheader, but the Guardians won game 1 4-2. Carlos Santana with a big 2-run bomb, and then Daniel Sneedman and Angel Martinez went back to back. The Mets beat the Royals 4-3. Bobby Witt Jr. hit a go-ahead 2-run bomb. They're currently in the top of the 8th. The Angels are beating the D-backs 5-4. Yoan Moncada hit his 100th career home run, and Logan O'Hoppe stole his first base of the year. The Padres are beating the Phillies 3-2 in the middle of the 8th. Fernando Tatis RBI single, and Jason Adam hit a ground ball, glove flipped it to home. It was a pretty cool play. The Blue Jays are beating the Athletics 7-0. Vlad Guerrero had his 1,000th career hit. Luis Severino struck out 8, and I think he's a guy that I really want the Cubs to go after at the deadline. The Giants are beating the Dodgers 6-2. Shohei Ohtani hit a 2-run bomb, and Young-Hoo Lee hit a 2-run triple. The Orioles beat the Marlins 5-2. Dean Kramer tossed 7 scoreless innings. The Rockies beat the Reds 3-2 tonight. Herman Marquez had a 8 strikeout performance and shoved in Ryan McMahon with a 2-run bomb. The Mariners beat the Tigers 12-2, and Cal Raleigh with a 2-home run performance. Cal Raleigh is now at 36 or 30. He's now at 38 home runs, so 2 more and he will have 40 home runs by the All-Star break, which is, I don't know when the last time we saw that.
Do you think he wins the MVP by a landslide, or do you think Judge gives him some competition?
Aaron Judge will always give him competition. And Tarek Skubal with a rare loss, and he got shelled tonight.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Red Sox beat the Rays 5-4. Cedian Rafaela hit a 2-run walk-off home run. We were just talking about him on the show yesterday. He's a very young and intriguing player. The Rangers beat the Astros 7-3. Wyatt Langford with a 2-run bomb and Adolis Garcia hit a solo shot. The Twins beat the Pirates 2-1. Paul Skeens struck out 6, 1 run, and still got the loss. He's 4-8 right now and has not won a game in 12 appearances. So that's crazy. The Brewers beat the Nationals 8-3, highlighted by a 6-run third inning, including an Andrew Vaughn home run and a Christian Yelich home run. The Braves beat the Guardians 6-5. Sean Murphy hit a no doubt 440 feet, a 2-run shot. That's all the games from today. Got some fun pitching matchups in the MLB Futures game, which I will be for sure tuning into tomorrow after the Cubs play at 12:05. So we'll play some MLB Pickle. Let's go. Who do you want to go for first?
Let's go Reese McGuire.
Reese McGuire, why not? All right, so he is a switch. It's left. It hit some random guy. So he is in the NL, not the Central. And it looks like he's a switch hitter. Throws right-handed from the USA. 30 years old.
From the USA. Wait, so from the USA switch hitter.
In
So
the
that
NL.
means he's not a pitcher, obviously, in the NL.
Uh,
I mean, Tommy Edman.
It's a good one. Tommy Edman.
No way.
Nice job. Nice job. So now we'll do our favorite immaculate grid. All right, Seattle and Detroit. Want to skip that?
Yeah, right now.
Detroit 30 home run season.
Miggy?
Yeah, Miguel Cabrera. Detroit under 3 ERA season. Tarek.
Yeah. Did he get it last year? He got it last year, right?
Yeah.
But
And then we'll do Blue Jays and Mariners. I feel like I know this one. Not popping up right now. Blue Jays 30 home run season. Vladdy.
Yep.
There we go. And then an under 3 ERA season. I Jose Barrios.
I think, yeah. I'll try it.
You get it?
Jose Barrios for under ERA.
Uh-huh. It didn't go in.
What?
That's good. I'm trying. Who are some like Blue Jays aces?
J Happ. I don't think he got under, though. No, he didn't. Oh boy, that's a bad one by me.
I'm trying to think like who their best starting pitchers were when they were good.
Roberto Ozuna, the closer.
Yeah. Scherzer.
Okay, Ozuna worked. All right.
Ozuna worked.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
and then I mean Altuve for 30.
Nah, do Jordan.
Okay.
And then under 3 ERA. I think Framber Valdez maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Or no, Justin Verlander. I'll do. Or no, I got Framber. Framber worked.
Where?
And now we got to think of players that played on Seattle and then those other 3 teams.
Toronto, Seattle seems pretty easy. I don't know why, but I can't think of anybody.
Yeah. Toronto and Seattle, that does sound like an easy one.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Trying to think. Is Rowdy Tellez on the Mariners right now? I know he played for the Blue Jays.
Did Edwin Encarnacion play for Seattle? He did,
Yeah.
right?
And then Seattle and the Astros. Was Randy Johnson on it? I know Randy Johnson was on the Mariners and the Astros.
I don't think so.
I, I think
Oh
he.
no, I think he was. I think he was.
I'm trying to think. I feel like Randy Johnson was.
I think he was too. Go with it.
Then we just need Seattle and Tigers.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Let me know if Randy Johnson. Did Randy Johnson work?
Oh yes, it did.
Okay, cool.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah, I have no idea.
You want to give up and search it up?
Yeah.
All right. This one is kind of surprising. Matthew Boyd. He was on the Mariners in 2022 and started his career with the Tigers and was on them for a while.
Wait, Matthew Boyd?
That's what Baseball Reference is saying.
Oh yeah, you're right. Damn. Whatever. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in today's show. Hopefully we have more good Cubs talk to recap tomorrow and they can get a W for sure. Thank you guys for tuning in. Signing off, Ryan Dunleavy.
Ryan Zielinski.
See you guys in the next episode.